Hi, welcome to the Bat Cave, where we're obviously not doing this for the money. We're just doing this today for the love of the cookie, love of the highly processed junk food item. What is it?
Famous Amos Cookies.
Famous Amos Cookie. Your favorite cookie
Yes.
out of all the cookies.
Yeah.
Like if you had a choice between your Nana's homemade cookies and Famous Amos, what are you going for?
Famous Amos.
Famous Amos every day.
Nana cooks sugar cookies. So
Yeah, I don't even know what. You know what she makes though that is good?
What?
Those Martha Washington balls or whatever. Those are pretty good. I think that's what they're called. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're talking about the cookies. Go, take it away. This is your passion
okay,
project.
so this is posted on r/cookies 3 years ago. It says, the new Famous Amos Belgium cookies are, not a single store near me is selling normal Famous Amos. Did they change the recipe and ditch the old one? And so there's 15 votes, haven't tried them. 9 votes to see the poll. 3 votes say not as good as the old formula, and 1 vote says better than the old formula.
Loser. No, I'm kidding.
But we can see the comments down here. Their website makes it seem like they ditched the old formula. The new ones have barely any flavor. I looked and the sodium content is way lower comparatively, which is unfortunate because a good chocolate chip cookie needs salt. I just ordered a box with 36 snack packs of the OG cookie because I'm having trouble finding them in stores anywhere.
Now let me ask, is this you? Did you?
No.
Okay.
Exactly. Thank God someone else agrees. They're so bad and the website just took all the OG cookies away. Okay, I've been dying to tell someone that cares about this. You can get the old formula at bulk stores. They're labeled as for vending machine only, and they come in individual packs, but they live on.
Oh, gosh.
Came here looking for answers because the new enhanced ingredient Belgian cookies are not good. They got rid of the famous taste. It tastes like a dark chocolate diet cookie or something.
Oh, no.
Hello, I have found my people. Who do we contact about this? I have to pay overpriced to get them online because Costco has stopped selling the original formula. I noticed they don't sell the new ones either. This is such a bummer.
You know what? This is how we keep what we need. This is the type of pettiness that keeps the good cookies on the shelf, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, keep going.
So, yeah. And so 9 months ago, the original recipe is back. Check your local grocery store. And that is presumably what they are doing. We saw in that news article we read.
Well, you're going to show
Yeah.
on the video. But, okay, have you checked your local grocery store? When's the last time you looked?
Last time I went, like last week, and they didn't have it.
My poor son. So this has been an ongoing drama for you. For how long?
Basically since I got a reliable car.
So
Since I went to college.
So are you telling me every time you go to the grocery store, you're looking for the Famous Amos cookies?
Not every time, but when it happens to cross my mind. Anytime that I go there, and then I come back with something sweet, yes, I checked for Famous Amos Cookies, and they did not have the original recipe.
Okay, how can you tell the difference by looking at the box?
Because the box says Belgian chocolate on it.
Uh-huh. Okay, go ahead. This is your baby. This is your project. Let me get quiet.
Okay, I thought I was crazy, but the new recipe is disgusting. I assumed it was just a packaging redesign, but unfortunately that's not the case. These were my favorite cookies. Why on earth did they mess with the original recipe? I was so disappointed when I got the new cookies. I thought it was just a package redesign. They're not even a little bit good.
Oh my goodness. Not even a little bit good? Not even slightly good? Okay. Someone said, I just tried them and they are horrible.
I'm fat, stoned, and throwing away cookies. This new recipe is absolute garbage.
Oh no.
The new cookies are disgusting. I already had my heart broken by Keebler when they bought Mother's and discontinued Flaky Flicks. Literally the greatest cookie ever, and now this, we're being screwed.
We're screwed with. Okay. The new recipe is gross. Okay. Oh.
And some people are saying, look up Sweet Serenity chocolate chips. They're better than Famous Amos.
Do you believe that?
I don't know. I've never tried them.
I wonder where we can get Sweet Serenity.
Oh, yeah. And then So that was 3 years ago, and then here, 2 years ago, the same person says, update, Famous Amos cookies still suck. It's been almost a year since they replaced them with the Belgian recipe, and it was the biggest mistake they could have made. Why not change the recipe back?
You know what? I'm going to guess this is not the first thing that Belgium has messed up. Historically, go ahead, tell me. Did they mess things up?
I don't want to say it, but sometimes they're so dry and awful now. I agree 100%. The Belgium chocolate is the worst. And it's not even the Belgians' fault. It's an Italian company that bought Famous Amos.
So it's the Italians.
Yeah, they changed the recipe. The Italians did.
And they put the Belgium chocolate in there.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Belgium chocolate?
It just doesn't taste right. It's like it's a European form of chocolate, and so you take Famous Amos Cookies, which uses an American form of chocolate, and you remove the American chocolate and replace it with European chocolate, and it just doesn't taste right. It messes with the whole taste of it. 7 months ago, someone said, Famous Amos is back, baby. So 10 months ago, they've switched back.
Woo!
Thank the heavens. All will be right with the world. I'm here because I just found out they discontinued the Belgian chocolate and am incredibly disappointed.
What?
Those were great. I'm not sure why they won't offer the original recipe as well as Wonders from the World
Well, now
flavors.
that's fair. Why can't they do both?
I'm sure that is fair. I would recommend that they do Wonders from the World as like an additional option on their website, though.
Okay.
And then just sell the main ones, because here we can't really move the.
Wait, yeah, we can. There's a way. Hang on. Let's.
Okay, so Ferrero's Famous Amos returns to its original recipe after brand overhaul fails to resonate.
Okay, now, and we have to say this article is coming from Food Dive.
Yes, it's coming from Food Dive. Christopher Doering. Let's see. The snack maker is altering the nearly 50-year-old cookies ingredient list again, redesigning the packaging and lowering the price.
Like, okay, let me just say something. Famous Amos Cookies, it's not just about the cookie. It's about the man himself, the legend, Wally Amos, right? He had a good thing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Mr. Amos knew what he was doing with this cookie. All right, I'm going to hush. Go ahead.
When Nutella maker Ferrero doled out $1.3 billion to purchase several snacking brands from Kellogg in 2019, one of the largest was Famous Amos, a nearly 50-year-old cookie. But the chocolate chip cookie offering had fallen on hard times. Sales were declining, household penetration was flat, and repeat purchases were moving sideways. The brand hadn't benefited from any advertising in more than a decade.
Okay, so now wait a minute. It says hard times, sales were declining. Okay, household penetration was flat, but that doesn't mean it's going down. It just means flat.
Yeah, and that's something about modern businesses. If you're not adding to your customer base, you're considered a failure.
That's sad.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I'm not sad that the cookie sales are flat or declining, because I am opposed to highly processed foods. But I do understand how much you love your Famous Amos cookies, and it's okay to occasionally indulge in a sweet treat, right? But not every day, probably not even every week. But anyway, all right, go ahead.
So because of that, we needed to do something. Rakhna Patel, a vice president of marketing at Ferrero, recalled in an interview.
Really? But did you really?
Research showed that customers, most notably millennials, were leaving the dry packaged goods space for cookies in the bakery, deli section, or nearby specialty stores that were viewed as fresher and containing better ingredients. Patel said Ferrero decided to further premiumize the Famous Amos brand by increasing the amount of chocolate to make the chip the top ingredient. It also used Belgium chocolate. The new cookie, which launched in 2021, resonated better than the original recipe in taste tests.
But I have an argument here. You essentially changed the cookie.
Yeah.
You changed the whole cookie and left it with the same name. Why not just give it a new name, new brand, why? Okay, it's kind of like this, right? You go to this dad, he's got 2 daughters, and you're like, hey, I want to take Rachel out on a date, right? And he's like, okay, sure. But then he dresses up Sarah and puts her at the door when you're there to pick up Rachel. And you're like, wait a minute, I'm here for Rachel, but this is Sarah, right? And Sarah might even be like the classier of the two, but you were there for Rachel. Doggone it, right? Y'all were going to go get some hot dogs and sit on the levee. You know what I'm saying? And Sarah wants to go to the freaking opera house. You're like, I was not up for this.
I've been cheated.
I've been lied to.
Ferrero also added other cookie offerings: Philippine coconut and white chocolate chips, Mediterranean hazelnut and chocolate chips, and British salted caramel and chocolate chips to the Famous Amos brand through its Wonders from the World line to reflect interest among millennials who had a strong international palate.
Yeah, okay.
Where the cookies were carried in the grocery store was altered too. Famous Amos moved from competing with brands like Oreo and Keebler to going head-to-head with the premium brands such as Tate's and Pepperidge Farm.
All right, now Pepperidge Farm does have a good cookie.
No, they don't.
They have some darn...
I tried some Pepperidge Farm cookies when I couldn't get the Famous Amos. I said, this is horrible.
You haven't tried... Oh, you know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about Milano. Does Pepperidge Farm make the Milano cookies?
I don't know.
Okay, go ahead. It's like what?
It's like if you put chocolate chips into a potato chip. It's like there's no substance. There's no cookie.
What we have got to do. You know what we've got to do?
What?
I don't know if it's called like a double blind taste test. We're going to do some type of cookie taste test and square off and find out who has the best chocolate chip cookie. But I feel like...
It's not even fair because the cookie is shaped differently.
No, we'll have someone break them up into small pieces for us so we can't tell. Yeah, it'll just be like you get a piece of the cookie. Yeah, what do you think?
Sure.
Okay, we're going to do that. And I don't even think you can do it all in one day because your palate needs a break. Like after a while, I'm sure they all start to taste the same. You got the crumbs from the last cookie still in your teeth when you're trying the new cookie. Yeah, but I think, yes, we're going to have a chocolate chip cookie taste test. Yeah? Okay.
But Ferrero found that despite these changes, repeat rates tapered off after an initial surge and sales struggled to surpass the older recipe, Patel said. The company discovered that while many people enjoyed the product, it cost more than they were willing to pay. A 7-ounce bag of Famous Amos chocolate chip cookies sold for $7.99 at Walgreens, for example. Other consumers clamored on social media for the original flavor.
My son. Okay, now, if they were selling the original cookies for $7.99 at Walgreens, would you have paid that for the original cookie?
I don't know. It's a lot, but I guess it depends on how often I would be getting it. But if it's just something I'd purchase like once a month, sure.
Okay.
Ferrero knew it needed to act or risk hurting the brand's long-term equity. We went back to the drawing board and started again from scratch. Ferrero chose to discontinue its Wonders from the World line, which is being phased out this year. It also returned to the original recipe for its iconic chocolate chip cookie and debuted a sealable stand-up bag that addressed shopper demand for freshness. In addition, Ferrero increased the amount of cookies in the bag from 7 ounces to 9 ounces, while cutting the price to $4.99. Moves, the company said, that increased the cookie's value among consumers and helped contrast it with other food offerings that were charging more. Where the product was carried in stores changed again too, with retailers moving it back next to Oreo and other so-called everyday cookies.
Should I read some?
Sure.
The updated Famous Amos cookie started shipping last November. So far, the changes have proven to resonate with consumers. Since the relaunch, repeat rate has increased by 5%. Sales of Famous Amos at some retailers have matched or exceeded where the cookie was when Ferrero purchased it 5 years ago. It's doing phenomenal, Patel said. Still, the misstep has provided Ferrero with some valuable insight. There were things that needed to be fixed with Famous Amos, Patel said, noting the company's prior expertise in premiumizing other brands like Butterfinger in its portfolio. We chose to fix the product as opposed to putting a brand campaign behind it, which might have been enough. Yeah, no kidding. With Ferrero having successfully rejuvenated Famous Amos, the company is now looking toward the brand's future, but moving more cautiously this time. It's planning a marketing campaign early next year that touts the cookies. Yes. Authenticity, yes, thank you. History, yes. And homemade recipe. Yes, this is what we have always loved about it. It's not just been the cookie that we have loved. Ever since you were a little boy, it's always also been what?
What?
The story on the box. Mr. Amos, you got to tell the story this Italian company bought it and changed the whole recipe. That's not a good story. That's not what we want to hear, is it?
No.
And we need to read the story too while we're talking about this. We need to look up the story of the original Famous Amos. Okay. Anyways, where was I? Yeah, with Ferrero having successfully rejuvenated Famous Amos, the company is now looking toward the brand's future, but moving more cautiously this time. It's planning a marketing campaign early next year that touts the cookies' authenticity, history, and homemade recipe. I'm sorry, I already read that once. Ferrero is also planning new product launches. Depending on how the brand performs in 2024, Ferrero could talk with retailers about carrying another Famous Amos cookie or two next year. Yeah, I agree. If the core chocolate chip product needs more time, Ferrero could decide to wait another year. Patel declined to say what innovations are coming. Y'all leave it alone. Leave it alone. But noted that many quick service restaurants carry chocolate chip cookies along with some combination of oatmeal, sugar, and peanut butter. We don't want to go so quickly. We want to make sure that we do it one step at a time, Patel said. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so here we are on the Wikipedia article about Wallace Amos Jr.
Oh.
Was an American television personality, businessman, and author.
I didn't even know he was an author. I would love to know what books he wrote. And look, where's he from?
Tallahassee, Florida.
Florida man! Look at that hat. That's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
It's a watermelon hat. It's so beautiful. And that shirt kind of looks like, is that like a Mardi Gras shirt or something? I don't know.
It looks like it.
He's got personality, though.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. He's the founder of the Famous Amos chocolate chip cookie. Oh, the Cookie Kahuna. And Aunt Della's Cookies gourmet cookie brands. And was the host of the adult reading program Learn to Read. Oh, I like this. Oh, I'm so curious.
Amos was born July 1st, 1936 to Wallace and Ruby Amos. He was born and raised in Tallahassee, Florida until he was 12 years old. When his parents divorced, he moved to New York City with his aunt, where he enrolled at the Food Trades Vocational High School. He showed his interest in cooking at a young age. It was from his aunt Della Bryant, who would bake cookies for him, that Amos later developed his chocolate chip cookie recipe. Amos dropped out of high school and joined the United States Air Force. He served at Hickam Air Force Base in Honolulu, Hawaii from 1954 until 1957. He earned his high school equivalency diploma before being honorably discharged from the military.
All right. Returning to New York City, Amos took classes to become a secretary and took a mailroom clerk job with the William Morris Agency. William Morris Agency? Is that the cigarettes? Nope. Sorry. I'm thinking Philip Morris.
20th Century Entertainers in Film, Television, and Music during its 109-year tenure.
Okay. Eventually, he became the agency's first African-American talent agent. He signed Simon and Garfunkel? Get out of here. Get out of here. And headed the agency's rock and roll department. What? Amos attracted clients by sending them chocolate chip cookies along with an invitation to visit him. He knew what he was doing. He knew. Those are magic cookies, and you mess with the recipe? What? The musicians he represented included who?
The Temptations and Marvin Gaye.
What? Okay, in 1975, and they mess with that cookie recipe? Get out. In 1975, a friend suggested to Amos that he set up a store to sell his cookies. In March of that year, the first Famous Amos Cookie store opened in Los Angeles, California. He started the business with the help of a $25,000 loan from Marvin Gaye and Helen Reddy. Oh, the company began to expand, and eventually Famous Amos chocolate chip cookies could be found on supermarket shelves across the United States. He became such a known figure culturally that he appeared as himself in the Taxi episode Latka's Cookies in 1981. Oh, I'll have to look that up. Thanks in part to the success of his cookie company, he was hired to deliver speeches. He wrote several books, many of which I'm so excited! Many of which have a self-help theme, including The Cookie Never Crumbles and The Power in You. I am going to read these books. Are you going to read them?
I don't know.
Everybody out there, we need to read these books. Okay. In 1979, Amos's longtime friend and publicist John Rosica introduced him to Literacy Volunteers of America. Amos advocated literacy and helped thousands of adults learn to read. I am falling more in love with him with every bit I read. In 1987, he also hosted a television series designed to teach others how to read, entitled Learn to Read, produced by Kentucky Educational Television and WXYZ TV. This is so sweet.
Mm-hmm. In 1986, Amos was awarded the Entrepreneurial Excellence Award by President Ronald Reagan at the White House Conference on Small Business. Due to financial troubles, Amos was forced to sell the Famous Amos Company in 1988. Because the name Famous Amos was trademarked by his former company, he had to use Uncle Naname's Cookie Company.
I think that's No Name's Cookie Company.
Uncle No Name's Cookie Company as his new company's name. A Famous Amos distributor at the time, Lou Avignon, heard Amos on a local radio talk show and contacted Amos with the idea for starting a new business. In 1994, the two became partners and subsequently launched the Uncle No Name Gourmet Muffins. The company focused on fat-free, nutritious muffins. Uncle No Name became Uncle Wally's Muffin Company in 1999. The muffins were sold in more than 3,500 stores nationwide.
In 2014, an article in Fortune magazine lauded the cookie comeback of famous Wally Amos as Amos brought back his handmade cookies under a new name, the Cookie Kahuna. These cookies these cookies were marketed in a store in Hawaii where Amos was based. They come in the flavors original chocolate chip with pecans, and butterscotch with macadamia nuts. I think we've had the ones with pecans. Amos appeared on the reality television show Shark Tank in October 2016, pitching Cookie Kahuna, but failed to get a deal. The business folded in 2018. In 2019, Amos was called the King of Cookies by NBC affiliate KSNV in Las Vegas. In 2020, Content Media Group released a documentary on the life of Wally Amos, the Great Cookie Comeback, Rebaking Wally Amos. The film was directed by Jeff McIntyre. I'm going to watch this movie. Okay. Oh no, this is sad. I don't want to know this. Okay, go ahead.
Amos was married 4 times, most recently to Carol Williams. He had 4 children: Michael Amos, Gregory Amos, Sarah Amos, and musician Sean Amos. Amos lived in Hawaii from 1977 until 2018 and was again living in the state at the time of his death. He also lived in Columbia, South Carolina, where he was working on Aunt Della's cookies until 2018. Amos died due to complications from dementia at his home in Honolulu on August 13th, 2024, at the age of 88.
Oh, man. Married 4 times. I don't know if he was divorced or if they all passed away, or it doesn't tell us. I don't need to know the details.
Well, these are just the books.
Okay, filmography. Look at this!
Yeah.
He was on The Office.
As himself. In the episode about Tallahassee.
Okay, yeah, so this is the backstory. Famous Amos. I still think he's awesome. I'm going to read his books. Y'all do what you want. Okay, one more thing. Is there any kind of update? We did read the update on Reddit where it's like the cookies are back.
Yeah.
Okay, did we need to read the reviews for the cookies on Walmart or anything? No?
Nah.
We're done. So, but last time you went to the store, you didn't see the cookies.
No.
When are you going back?
I don't know.
All right, y'all, look for the Famous Amos cookies. They fixed them.
Presumably, they fixed them.
Presumably, they fixed them.
Okay.
And we're going to have a cookie taste test.
Okay.
All right. Toodles.
Goodbye.